One of the many great friends here in Victoria, of course, Lord Stanley's mug is on hand. Captured by the Cougars in 1925 and sitting right here at Ship Point, right in behind the float planes. That's what they call their seaplanes here in the Inner Harbor. It's such a beautiful stage. And I'll tell you a neat story about this synthetic ice. It's artificial. The ice is a big thing, of course, in this area. We are always trying to provide the children with great opportunities. Westhills Recreation Complex in Langford. 13 municipalities make up the Victoria area. The key to ice is heat, believe it or not. That's the neat story, and it would take maybe an expert from the nature of things to explain such a thing. So we are delighted to have Sarika Suzuki will join me in just a moment, and Andrew Ference going over to Langford to explain.
I'm Andrew Ference, and I help lead the NHL's green initiatives. Today, I've invited my friend Sarika Suzuki, host of The Nature of Things, to visit Westhills Recreation Complex with me.
We're at this amazing facility. Let's go check it out.
Yeah, great.
Here, we're going to learn how a hockey arena in Langford, BC has become a leader in energy efficiency. Spoiler alert, it's all due to this brilliant man right here.
This is the brains behind the whole operation.
Art Sutherland.
Should we start in the rink?
Yeah, let's take a look.
Alrighty, let's have a look.
Art co-founded Accent Refrigeration, which develops the most efficient and reliable refrigeration systems in the world.
Smells like a hockey rink. It is. Feels like
We're
a
in
hockey
the right
rink.
place.
Many traditional ice rinks require a lot of energy and fossil fuels to heat and power the facility, wasting energy and creating environmental concerns. Art saw an opportunity to improve this process.
From the surface, it just looks like any other rink anywhere. Now, the top where the refrigeration is, there's 7 miles of plastic piping, and we circulate glycol through that piping. We have a very thick layer of insulation below the ice surface, and then we heat below it. So we refer to it as a geothermal system on steroids.
We don't think about anything going on below the ice. We just see the ice here and the players playing on it. But what you're describing is all this chemistry and physics happening all day, every day of the year.
Right below our feet.
It's not just below our feet where energy efficiencies are taking place.
I do see a good-looking Zamboni.
Oh, yeah.
This is different than the old school ones that I think some of the older rinks would have.
That's a brand new Zamboni. It's all electric.
Think of it as the Tesla of ice resurfacers.
The beauty of the electric is we're directly eliminating fossil fuels. We don't have to have natural gas or propane to run it.
There's no energy wasted here.
Look at this beautiful, smooth surface. Are you just itching to get on there?
Well, I am, but I think as clean as it is here, maybe we should go check out the guts.
Next, Art took us to check out the heat capture system.
We installed these energy recovery heat pumps. These extract heat from the ice plant that we previously saw at 26 degrees Celsius as the feed source. So the efficiency is incredible.
And so if you don't have this, what do you have? Like what does
Boiler.
the average rink do?
Boilers. These are the boilers of the future.
I have a heat pump at my house.
Yes.
It looks nothing like these heat pumps.
This is 80% more efficient, just incredible.
This is 80% more efficient than my house heat pump?
Yes, you should move your house next to here to gain efficiency. Very efficient.
You can feel the energy, yeah.
Yeah.
Next on the tour, we checked out the high-efficiency ammonia compressors.
Everything's good. Every bit of heat goes into this heat exchanger, and it becomes the feedstock or the energy source for the heat pumps that we looked at earlier.
So we just need to think about waste in a different way.
Yes.
Art figured out that there was enough energy generated from this process to also heat homes in the nearby Westhills community.
We're entering the Westhills energy sharing station, and that heat is delivered into a grid that then goes into the houses.
Here's the science behind it all. The Westhills Energy Station receives excess warm glycol from the ice rink, adds that to the energy generated from 300 geothermal boreholes below a nearby soccer field, which then goes to heat the homes. Then, cold glycol is sent back to the rink, which boosts the efficiency of the refrigeration system, creating a true community energy sharing network. I told you this man was brilliant.
Do you think what you're doing here could be a vision for sustainability in the future?
Yes, it's taking the heat we have that's being wasted and then redeploying it into places that need heat. It's just that simple. The heat is there, we've got to use it.
So the technology's there, the economic incentives are there, it's good for the environment. No more excuses.
Win, win, win.
Got to spread the word.
Thanks, Art. All right.
He is brilliant, Sarika. That I said to you, it's like Driftwood Brewery in there. It was very exciting. So thank you for that item, and thank you for the nature of things. David is a dear friend. To work with him all these years at the CBC, and I told you he's the Jean Beliveau of broadcasting. He's elegant. He could be the Governor General, and he's so funny when you get him behind the scenes. Anyway.
Oh my goodness, that's so nice. I guess
to
you guys go way back.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's neat. Hockey Night in Canada is a great tradition. 63 years for the nature of things. So
exactly,
amazing.
Yeah, similar run. I know, it is amazing, and it's really cool to be here right now. I feel like we're kind of in the danger zone, though. There's
yes,
all these
we
kids
are.
with hockey pucks behind us.
Tell me a little bit about what's to come. I was saying to you, they're like skating orcas, and you did an amazing story on walking whales and the history of way back when.
Yeah.
What's coming up?
Well, it's going to be an exciting season, and we're well into it. We did a show on the walking whale, which is the first whale 50 million years ago. Really amazing. But we have shows. We have a show on heartbreak, one on dinosaurs, one on prehistoric children, and there was a little tease there for one on hair, and David makes a cameo in that one, so it's pretty fun.
Actually, it would be neat to know a little bit of your backstory, because you come to it from marine biology. What would you say specifically was your path?
Yeah, well, I grew up near the ocean. I was born and raised in Vancouver, and now I live in Victoria, but I was always obsessed with the sea, and specifically fish. And so my PhD was focusing on a fish that sings. So I'm really all about the ocean, fish, and the environment.
Well, it's great, Sarika, for you aboard, and continued success Thursday nights and all weekend long.
Thank you so much, Ron. Pleasure to
Sarika
be here.
Suzuki. Amazing. Ivanka.
Thanks, Ron. Well, it's easy to see and know why Victoria is nicknamed the City of Gardens. How beautiful is this? This is prime time Butchart Gardens in the summer. It is a National Historic Site, an internationally known public attraction. It's on the Saanich Peninsula, about 21 kilometers north of Victoria. Historic gardens were laid out by Jenny Butchart between 1904 and 1939, and worth a visit and coming back to see it. More Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada when we return.
Soar into Paramount Plus. Browse and stream blockbusters. Catch new originals and exclusive series.
I'm doing this for our family.
And enjoy hit shows of every kind.
Okay.
Stream a mountain of entertainment with Paramount Plus.
Hey, sorry. I went to the bank after work, and then I picked up Arya from school. Arya loves her school, but she says she still misses her friends. Okay, call me when you wake up. I'll still be studying. I miss you, Ma.
Welcome to Lacombe Ford. Small town professional service. Real people. Real rewards. Real easy.
California Closets. We believe every space deserves a custom solution.
We had the most wonderful experience. Our designer listened to our vision and respected our budget.
That's what we call practical magic. Request a free design consultation.
Famoso Italian Pizzeria and Bar. Savor, taste, share. Famoso, the spirit of Italian. Come in, enjoy.
Can you believe it? That beard's got game. He definitely chooses King C Gillette, designed to trim, wash, and soften for facial hair that feels as good as it looks. What a finish! With lifetime sharp blades, choose your game face.
I'm Derek Wills, joined by Calgary's number 20, Blake Coleman. Blake, why did you decide to go with the giant Country Hills Toyota?
Customer service was at the top of that list, and they made it really easy for me and my family to find the car we needed.
With over 500 vehicles on the way, Country Hills Toyota has a huge selection. Which Toyota did you draft?
I drafted the Tundra. Just like a great hockey player, it's versatile, and it's perfect for the Calgary winters.
Shop where Blake shops and get zero down and no payments for 6 months.
And don't forget about the free lifetime oil and filter changes.
Only at your Toyota Giant.
Country Hills Toyota.
Welcome back. 24th annual Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada at the Inner Harbour in the capital of beautiful British Columbia. Morgan Jackson and Alex Nelson. I am so frustrated with you. I had one good shot last night and you snared it so easily, as typical of you, but welcome aboard. A great goaltender, a great player, just back from the Women's U18 World Championships. Twice now for you, Morgan. A gold and a bronze. Congrats. Must have been fun last night, Alex.
Oh, really fun, you know. All the guys were really nice, and yeah, and it was really fun getting to play against, you know, like Andrew Ferentz,
Kevin Bieksa, you shut him down.
Oh yeah, I shut him down a couple times, but I think he got one pass, but at least he didn't get multiple, so.
Well, you're great, and we'll get to some of your achievements in a second. Morgan, for you, last night I got to skate with you and Jennifer Botterill, and I just felt like that was two great generations of women who inspire us in the game. What was it like for you?
It was amazing. Honestly, like playing with a different generation, you get to like connect and you get to talk to her. Even off the ice, I got to share a lot of stories with her, and she shared a lot of interesting stories with me, so I found it really cool.
You know, we showed on Hockey Night in Canada, you going back to commiserate with your goaltender after Czechia gets their 3-2 goal. So you're a great heart. I'd be interested to know how you compete and be kind at the same time. Do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, just having a lot of energy and having fun with the teammates. I think that's the only thing you can do playing hockey.
Now, some of your achievements. You've won so many medals. You were showing me the other day some of yours. What would you say are highlights?
Probably this summer in Halifax with the North American Indigenous Games. You know, I got to represent BC for that, and we went all the way to gold medal. So I think that was probably one of my bigger achievements, and then as well as like the Premier's Award for Youth Indigenous and Excellence in Sport. So I think those are a couple of highlights, but you know.
I should mention you and Ben Brandt gave me a beautiful blanket from Team BC, so thank you for that.
Yeah, of course, you know.
He was amazing, and we're going to do a Micah Zandy Hart feature here, Morgan, so maybe her and other heroes of yours. Who has inspired you?
Along with Micah, probably Poulin, of course. I mean, I watch her and I watch all her highlights. I mean, it's just so cool to watch her along.
I love Marie-Philippe Poulin, too, because of vulnerability. She always says that's the key to leadership. So that's kind of what I saw in you that day when the 3-2 goal went in. Anyway, you're great. Congrats on winning the Worlds. Congrats on all you've achieved. Alex, you're amazing in net. Thanks to your dad, too. He was phenomenal. So here's Christine Simpson now with the story of the first woman to win a gold medal in women's hockey for Canada. She's right here from Victoria, Micah Zandy Hart. Chris.
All 6 teams in the newly formed Professional Women's Hockey League have arrived in Utica, New York for a pre-season, pre-evaluation camp.
Still got it!
It's an historic moment for these women, especially for the players who sacrificed and fought for an equitable league. Victoria's Micah Zandy Hart is on the ice with Team New York. She made history as the first BC-born player to make Canada's Olympic hockey team. But she's never had a sustainable professional league to play in until now. How supported do you feel as a player so far in this young league?
It's been incredible so far, even for us as women's hockey players. Sometimes we've been playing on teams with 2 or 3 staff members. You know, now most teams have 10 to 15 staff members.
You tell them that when they come off, guys. Micah looks faster than you guys. I don't know what happened.
We feel finally like we are professional and this is a real thing, and we have everything we need to compete at our best, which is what we want to do.
It's the way it should be.
Yeah, totally.
I'm like a kid at Christmas.
Yeah.
Just watching this, all the hard work you guys put in and the belief that you could build this, and
yeah.
I'm going to make it too.
There's been a lot of those moments lately, for sure.
Yeah.
It's been a long road for women's hockey, with many leagues trying and failing. If the PHF, NWHL, and the CWHL all folded, can the PWHL make a go at it? And so quickly? The league has been criticized for its aggressive timeline. Who was it that was really pushing to say, we can't wait another year to have the full season in the fall, even if that may have made more sense from a timing standpoint?
Of course, many people think we should have waited a year, waited 18 months, waited 2 years to do it right. And we just didn't have that luxury. We committed to the players.
Right across the players and guys, we didn't have a league like this to look forward to inspire them to reach higher goals in the game. And these are not guys tonight.
It's the elite players all in one place and playing against each other and competing against each other, and you can't beat that. And so I just can't wait for people to see the product and see how good these women are.
To see a Billie Jean King, a Stan Kasten from the LA Dodgers supporting and backing this league, what does that mean to you?
I think for us to have people like that who are saying, we believe in what you bring and we want to invest our money in it, that is a moment for us where we go, whoa.
So when you first started playing hockey, though, it was with boys' teams.
Pretty much any woman my age probably started off playing hockey with boys, and all of us had different experiences, some good, some bad, and it's not for everybody. I think I just got fortunate that I was in a good place with the right people and the right group of parents that supported me in that.
Micah loved playing with the boys. They were her friends. They looked up to her. She captained their team many times. It was great. It was probably a huge benefit for her to play with the boys. She didn't see herself as a boy or girl. She saw herself as a player, a team member.
With her mom's support, Micah was able to pave a path for herself in women's hockey, playing in the NCAA and then winning gold at the Beijing Games. She joined the PWHPA to help push for an equitable league, and then made history again when she became the first Canadian player to sign cross-border in the PWHL.
I was able to sign in the free agent period before the draft, and I think our values just really aligned on building a culture and building a team.
I can shoot today. So step your game out.
Building a program, you need that core to be strong, to be good leaders, good person, good players. We know the skills that she has on the ice, and for sure having Micah is a real privilege for New York.
I proudly stand here celebrating these trailblazers. And the best part, we are just getting started. The PWHL is just getting started.
What was the draft like in September in Toronto? You know, Billie Jean King being there, all the media. I think for a lot of people, that's when it became real.
I think for me, watching, like you said, Billie Jean King was there, but also Cassie Campbell, Vicky Sanahara, Tessa Bonhomme, these players that never had the opportunity to have something like this, but helped us build this in a way. It was cool to have them there and announcing some of the picks and being involved in that day as well.
It's a pretty special day.
Definitely. Yeah, I think we'll never forget that. I feel stronger now than I did before. So that's obviously positive. And hopefully I just keep progressing back to being in the game, and we'll go kind of week by week here.
So I know you won't be in the lineup on January 1st, but you will be in Toronto, I'm sure. What do you think will be going through your mind? What will that day feel like?
I think it's really cool to be a part of the first ever game. I think we're lucky as Team New York and Toronto to be the first ever game, and especially on New Year's Day, it's pretty cool. But I think for the management and all the people that are putting the work in behind the scenes, I'm sure that will also be a really emotional moment for them to see it all come together.
It's January 1st, 2024, the first game of the inaugural PWHL season. Fans are lined up around the block, eagerly awaiting puck drop. The New York team arrives, and the energy of this day, of this moment, is electric.
Can you believe this day is happening?
No, I can't. But it's really cool that we're actually here. So there's some nerves, but I think overall just really excited to be a part of the first ever game.
Ella Shelton scores! History is hers!
With a 4-0 win over Toronto, New York secures its spot in history in front of a sellout crowd of passionate women's hockey fans. For so many young girls, the opportunity to play professionally isn't just a dream. It's now a reality.
Our dreams could come true because people in the world have done this for us.
We could possibly be those players on the ice.
This is real. Like it's still, I think we all have moments every day where we realize that this is real because we haven't had it before.
Sort of pinch yourself that it's finally happening.
Yeah, totally. Just showing up to the rink every day and going, this is my full-time job. This is my 9 to 5, but I get to play a game for a living. I think that's a pinch me moment every day.
Look at those eyes. The women along the blue line, the women in the crowd. It was such a special day that day at Mattamy. Jade Downey-Landry, as we speak, has a 2-goal performance going for New York, taking on Boston in the PWHL action that's happening right now. Later tonight, Toronto is into Montreal. We'll have highlights of that as well. So, Micah, you are the captain, and you're in uniform today. Congrats on the 3-zip lead late in that game. Two of the drivers of the league now with Ivanka Osmak. Ivanka.
Absolutely. Ron just gave an update from the New York-Boston game, and Boston leading 3-0 right now. Brian Burke, Executive Director for the PWHL PA, and Cassie Campbell-Pascal, a Senior Advisor with the PWHL. And Brian, I'll start with you. Why did you want to get involved on the player side of things?
Because I really admire the women's game and been very close with most of the women that play. I was a season ticket holder in Toronto, season ticket holder in Calgary. I love the women's game, so when they offered me a job, I jumped at it.
And what have been some of the highlights so far in the early weeks?
Just getting to know some of the star players. They're such wonderful people. They're so humble. They work so hard. They've worked so hard to get this league up and running. And I've really enjoyed every minute of it.
Cassie, you're taking on a senior advisor role. And what are you bringing to the league?
Well, whatever they need, just working on the business side, working on the hockey ops side. And, Jana Heffer's my boss, my teammate, my friend. And, whatever they need me to do to help grow the league, I'm there for them 100%. It's been a fun 2 months for me so far, and just really proud and an honor to be a part of it.
Some of the highlights I know for me have been watching the little girls and the women and their reaction and seeing other women playing and knowing, oh, I could do that when I'm older. What's it been like for you seeing that?
It's been incredible. It's interesting. I was at a Scotiabank branch yesterday, and I was asking the players, who's your favorite player? And the majority of them said Sidney Crosby, who I love, by the way. But, now that they're going to be able to see the Marie-Philippe Poulins all the time, they're going to be able to see the Natalie Spooners all the time. Those are names that not just in those regions, they're going to start saying more across the country. And I think that's something that makes me proud. And the fact that they're going to be able to watch it all the time is really impressive for our league and what they've been able to accomplish right off the start.
It was wonderful hanging out with the Victoria Reign players. We had a couple of the captains from the U21 team, Dakota, Reagan, Taya, captain of the U18, and they were so excited to be there. And I know they were really happy to meet you as well. And Brian, where do you see the PWHL going and growing from here?
Well, I'm not sure what we're looking for in terms of growth. People talk about expansion. I think that's premature. We've got to get the league up and running and fill the buildings up, get the economic backing where it needs to be, and then we'll worry about growing the game. But right for now, you want to support us, come to games.
Absolutely. Thank you, Brian. And one last note, Cassie, you were honored by the Reign at the banquet the other night. They unretired your 77. It got a little emotional. Can you speak about that?
I'd kind of forgotten about it. The Victoria Reign unfortunately almost lost their association a few years back. And to be honest with you, I didn't realize the impact of helping them get a grant and getting money to kind of kickstart their program again. And little did I know it actually saved the program. And they honored me with this unbelievable honor. Micah's Andy Hart's numbers, you can wear number 1 to 20, then 28 like the Micah, and now 77 like me. And it got a little emotional, and it made me realize the impact that myself and my teammates have had over the years.
Yeah, it was awesome to see. Well, Brian, Cassie, thanks for being with us. And we have plenty more coming up from Ship Point in Victoria, BC. Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada. Stay with us.
This game is brought to you by Rogers, proudly bringing the NHL's biggest stars to Toronto for the 2024 NHL All-Star Weekend.
Morning, Sean.
I gave you my key for emergencies. You're eating a muffin in my kitchen.
Remember when I signed you up for your first bank account as a kid?
Yeah, I still use it. Why?
With all the fees and no interest, it's cost you thousands. I want to fix this.
By breaking and entering?
EQ Bank offers high interest and no fees on everyday banking. You'll make more.
That looks great. This chat could have happened over the phone, right?
Wouldn't have gotten to see you.
Okay. Yeah. No, the key to my house.
Oh.
I was saving that muffin.
This January at Boston Pizza, every day is Pasta Tuesday. That means BP's famous pastas start at just $11.99 every single day. Create your own or go gourmet for just a few bucks more. Come on in for Pasta Tuesday pricing any day. Only this January at Boston Pizza.
Beat the winter blues with Calgary's newest RV party and sale. Multiple dealers on site offering huge discounts on tent trailers, travel trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, motorhomes, and more. January 24th to 28th, visit CalgaryRVExpo.com.
California Closets, we believe every space deserves a custom solution.
From the consultation to the final installation, every detail was buttoned up and very professional.
That's what we call practical magic. Request a free design consultation.
Pop it, work it, cap it. For work or play, Cap It has the right cap for your truck. From modular smart caps to alu caps, Lear commercial caps, or stylish bulldog caps. Cap It.
Whether you spend your time down on the farm or going down the road, you can always count on UFA. With over 100 card lock locations and bulk fuel delivery, from fleet to farm, we've got you covered.
South African UFC champion.
Raquel Pennington, she has a lot of ways to win and a lot of experience.
With one of Silva's never lost in this weight class.
She loves to fight. Two sensational matchups.
WWE Royal Rumble on Sportsnet Plus.
Like Justice League, we'll burn this earth down for me.
What's the plan?
Time for us bad guys to save the world.
Finally, someone let me out of my cage. Now, time for me is nothing because I'm counting no eggs.
PlayStation.
Scotiabank's Hockey for All community partners are thriving coast to coast. Brock McGillis is on a mission to ensure hockey takes important strides to be a welcoming space. He's speaking to 100 high school-age minor hockey teams in 100 days across Canada. For more info, scan the QR code or go to brockmcgillis.com/tour.
Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada. Carolyn Cameron, thanks for the Brock story, and we'll get more on that with a great program that Bain has on. It's called Alphabet, but Bain and Matt Pettinger are heroes here in Victoria Hockey. The whole family is. First of all, we did the alumni game last night, and you were sickeningly good. Bain had a great goal, and Brad Leavold of Red Deer had a hat trick. Him and Darcy Tucker were on fire together, weren't they?
Yeah, it was great to see all the alumni and for me to partake in that with having never played a professional hockey game in my life. So it was really cool to get the alumni and every local and a sold-out rink at Save On there. And the setup here today is unbelievable to bring this show, and thanks to Sportsnet for bringing this down here and to our great city that we get to show off. That kind of is the little brother to Vancouver sometimes.
Bain's program's Apollo. He's an agent, and so Tyson Barrie came in this summer, and you helped to orchestrate that. And I mean, this is big, but that might have been bigger. Anyway, Matt, it's just been an honor to be with your dad, Rick, and to be with you. You did play in the NHL and had a great career. So just a reflection on the Racket Club here. That's a funny thing. We hear the Victoria Racket Club, and you were many times provincial champion en route to the NHL.
Yeah, well, thanks again for having us. Obviously, welcome to our city. Very fortunate to grow up here. It's a great city, as we all know, lots of history. The Racket Club, we had lots of success growing up. A lot of good players. Steve Nash played at the Racket Club, Mel Bridgman, the Courtnall brothers. So I'm very proud from that aspect. And I coach my little son, Luke, there now, and it continues on.
Who was your coach? Was it Alan? Who's the one?
Yeah, two influential coaches that I had back in the day were Alan Neal and Dale Sproul. And like I said, we won 3 pretty much straight provincial championships back then. Went to the famous Quebec Pee Wee tournament in '94 and came 5th. So yeah.
Who did you like? Did you take down Burnaby, North Shore? Who did you beat to win the provincials?
In the provincials,
yes.
Kamloops had some good teams. Daryl Hay, Mike Brown. North Shore was obviously good there too. But we had stiff competition. But like I said, we had a lot of good talent and great coaching as well.
Okay, Brock McGillis did his 100 days speaking to minor hockey age kids about coming out and feeling comfortable, and you're just so great, Bain, in that arena or space. Maybe tell me about Alphabet, your initiative.
Yeah, so Alphabet Sports Collective, I came out a couple of years ago there with the help of Brock McGillis, and I don't think it's any coincidence that a couple months after that, Luke Prokop reached out to me and came out. So with Alphabet, we're trying to create that safe space with humanization and education for queer youth to think that they have a place in our great game, because I didn't think that I did, but without Brock's help and Luke and now the collective that we have, we're really trying to make an impact in the game to help bring people in and not push them away, and it's having some big impact for sure.
So great. the Bens. You know, it's funny, the Cordinals, the Bens, the Pettingers, it's always the family that plays together, stays together. So James Patrick coaching the Royals here, I was interested. He tells the kids, be Jordy. It's easy to be Jamie Benn, but maybe a comment on Matt, what it takes and why Jordy was able to carve out a great career.
Yeah, he's got a great story. I know them both personally fairly well. I played with Jamie in the lockout in Hamburg in the DEL in 15. But yeah, Jordy's story is great. Obviously a kid that grew up playing some junior B, playing the East Coast League here for the Victoria Salmon Kings, and just sort of grinded his way through. And now, was a captain of the Spengler Cup team recently. And yeah, it proves to any kid out there that there's not one path to get to the next level and the best level, which is NHL. So yeah, it's a great story, great kids.
I'll hit you cold with this, Matt, but just seeing Tom Martin interact with Greg Adams or Doug Bodger, all these names, right, of hockey last night in the rooms. Who's your buddy in the NHL? If you had to pick one or two that really either took you under your wing or that you feel were someone you could communicate to about what it's like to be an NHLer, who would it be?
It's a good question. I spent a lot of my time in Washington. One of my good roommates back then, Matt Bradley, played for Pittsburgh. Brian Wilsey, he's another guy that, we peripherally stay in touch. Manny Malhotra also played World Juniors with him in 2000, and we're sort of family friends there. So hockey guys, they cannot see each other for 2, 3 years, 5 years, and you can meet them within 2 minutes. You feel like you're caught up.
Was that ever apparent this week? And you two were a huge part of that. Thank you to the Pettingers. Bane and Matt, thank you, boys. We're going to take a short break. Your brother, your dad, the whole family is just hockey through and through. And that's the story we're telling today, all day, working our way towards the Winnipeg Jets and Ottawa Senators. Our coverage of Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada continues in a moment.
Today, a basic box score just won't cut it. Get the stats behind the stats with NHL Edge. Know more about every stat, every shift, and every star with NHL Edge.
Every purchase counts with the TD First Class Travel Card.
I thought I ordered a margarita.
Get there faster with up to 4 times the TD Rewards points. TD. Ready for you.
In our universe, Wendy's Bacon Portobello Mushroom Melt is back with fresh, never frozen Canadian beef. In another Meltyverse, it's back too. There, time moves super slow. But the Bacon Portobello Mushroom Melt is just as delicious.
Beat the winter blues with Calgary's newest RV party and sale. Multiple dealers on site offering huge discounts on tent trailers, travel trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, motorhomes, and more. January 24th to 28th, visit CalgaryRVExpo.com.
California Closets. We believe every space deserves a custom solution.
We had the most wonderful experience. Our designer listened to our vision and respected our budget.
That's what we call practical magic. Request a free design consultation.
L'Italia non è sola questo qui. Mamma mia, qui è tutta un'allegria. Mamma mia, qui è tutta una poesia.
In light design that turns first impressions into lasting memories. That's progress you can feel.
Earn on the things you need every day with the new Calgary Co-op app. Earn on dinner and dessert. Earn on school lunches. And sick days too. Earn on where you're headed today and redeem it later down the road. Download the app to watch your annual member earnings grow and enjoy Calgary Co-op bonus cash, exclusive savings, free prizes, and more. The Calgary Co-op app. It's membership refreshed.
Welcome back. This is Fantan Alley, the narrowest commercial street in North America. It's between 3 to 6 feet wide, 240 feet long, and runs between Fiskard Street and Pandora Avenue in Victoria's historic Chinatown. Came into being between 1885 and 1920 as Chinese and Western landowners initially constructed the buildings in the area. Amazing. So we've had a few very emotional stories as we do the show here today. Get ready with the Kleenex on this one. If you didn't already love Sam Gagner, he lives in my neighborhood of Oakville, Ontario, and always loved Sam. Skated on their rink with Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada in 2021. But it's not your story, Sam. You know, it's your dear friend Brady Leavold. Brady's a wonderful hockey player who found the walls closing in and then found a way out. Brady, over to you.
I guess I can give you a quick disclaimer before I get going. My story, it's not easy to listen to. It's a hard journey. I'll tell you again, it was extremely difficult to live.
Now we got another fight. Brady Leavold got that jackhammer right going.
This is a really hard one.
Leavold's going to go at it here at center ice. Brady Leavold just loves to fight.
I think my story begins being 5 years old. Being abused as a kid was the hardest thing that I've ever gone through. That definitely changed who I was. And in and around that time, my parents got separated and divorced, and there was a lot of sort of unanswered questions. This one here, I'm 16, playing in Swift Current. This is when things like really started to weigh heavily on me. You know, the drinking for me really, it escalated quickly. Hockey was able to keep me going. But when I lost that and I turned to drugs and alcohol, things got extremely dark.
My last year in the Western Hockey League, I got traded to the Kelowna Rockets. People created their own narrative, their own picture of what I might be going through or what I'm going through.
A fight in the neutral zone, and some big rights here from Leavold.
Definitely, it was fighting myself the whole time. I don't know, it was just this pursuit of destruction that I carried with me for a long time.
Right in around that time, I signed with the Tampa Bay Lightning. That was always my dream, play in the NHL.
I remember standing next to Steven Stamkos. I thought I was unworthy.
It's Brady Leavold for Tampa Bay. I think they're going to break it up. Linesmen are talking with them, but they're not willing to let go just yet as Dowsett comes through with a couple more.
This is my first paycheck from the Tampa Bay Lightning. Lightning hockey payroll, $2,600. To see that I was being paid by an NHL hockey team, it's in the name bar. I mean, that's my name, that's an NHL logo, that's a Tampa Bay Lightning logo. Like, I understand that, but while I was there, I mean, I don't think I realized maybe my life could have been, maybe I could have been a full-time NHL player.
Very shortly into my pro career of hockey, I injured my knee. That same night, doctor threw me a bottle of pills. When I took that pill for the first time, thinking it was going to cure my knee pain temporarily, which it did, I had no idea that it was also going to kill the emotional pain that I've been hiding my whole entire life.
Let me tell you, it just progressively got worse and worse and worse.
My body, mind, my spirit was screaming for these pills. So I resorted to finding them on the street. In about 2014, I became an intravenous drug user. I still have the scars on my arm to show it.
These scars are still pretty prevalent. I don't know if they'll ever fade. There was times when I thought about tattooing over them so I didn't have to look at them anymore.
I really resented the game of hockey and honestly the people in it. I wasn't in a place of accountability and taking ownership for my own choices. And though there's things that have happened to me over my life that maybe I didn't have control over, the vast majority of my struggles came from choices that I made.
2020, I eventually started to piece my life back together. I found out that I was going to be a dad again. I've caused so much pain because I've been an absent dad in the past. I passed this lake and it felt like it was kind of calling to me. I knew that I didn't want to do drugs anymore, but I was also very overwhelmed that I had no money, no anything. All I knew was this life that I'd been living for the last almost 10 years. It's like I had this conversation with myself. I still don't know if I actually had a conversation with myself or if I did hear a voice. And it's like, you're gonna do what right now? Who are you? Brady, if you just turn around and go home, your life will get better than you could have ever imagined. And it was the greatest intuition that I've ever had in my entire life. It was the next day that I put my skates on and started to skate around the lake, and everything just went quiet. All I could hear was the metal into the ice. Ice meets metal, can't you drive me down to the big league? It definitely means more this time around putting skates on. I say thank you, and I remind myself how lucky I am that I get to do it again. It's really just like a dream come true. I've always wanted to have the family unit. I've obviously made some mistakes along the way, and some relationships have been damaged, but I'm really grateful for my girls and for Jenna and the stability and support that I have now, because just a few years ago I would have never imagined that it would have even been possible.
Because I knew that he wasn't always in the position to be a dad, it's been really special to see him get to step into that and also see that it's absolutely how it is. He's his best self when he's a dad, and when he's not getting to be, you know, in that role all the time, you can see that it wears on him.
Welcome. Hockey to Hell and Back, episode number 128. When I started doing this show a few years ago, I thought I was alone. I thought I was the only hockey player who struggled with mental health and addiction, and I found out real quick once I started to share my story that I was not alone. Without further ado, let's bring him in, my buddy, Nick Kyprios.
Brady, how are you?
Yeah, Kipper, doing well. Thank you so much, man. Kind of where I want to start is just kind of where you see the game today as far as like a mental health standpoint.
I'm very comfortable in saying that we've made tremendous strides in being aware of certain battles that someone can have behind the scenes and being more sensitive to it.
No doubt. And you know, I see it. I'm very fortunate. I kind of landed a dream position, if you will, up here in Muskoka in the summertime. Sam Gagne hired me as a head coach. We had 40-something NHL guys come through our camp last summer, and just to see it firsthand where the guys are at is pretty incredible.
You know, he said to me multiple times, like, I'm so thankful for this opportunity, and I continue to say to him, like, you've earned this opportunity, and you continue to earn it every day.
Be able to walk into a rink now, regardless if it's a small town in Ontario or it's an NHL arena, you know, I can walk in with my head up and feel comfortable in a rink. It took a while to get there. Get that? I'm gonna hit him with the Steven Stamkos behind the back. Oh, what a save! What a save! It feels really good to know that I can be present and I can share my love, my passion, and my skill and my knowledge of the game that has caused so much hardship, but also saved my life so many times. You are not alone, regardless of what you're going through. I promise you, you're not alone. As soon as I was willing to stand up and reach my hand out, boy, was I thankful that I had this whole community rally around me. I've never been more sure of this in my entire life. Vulnerability is strength. Just keep fighting. If something doesn't work out the first time, keep fighting. You're so worth it. I'm Brady Leavold. I'm a dad. I'm a retired pro hockey player. I'm an advocate for mental health and substance abuse. I'm somebody that just wants to show the world that there is hope.
That is a hard one, Brady. Congratulations to you and your family for sharing the story. Michael Attic is the producer of that piece, Brady, as you know, and that has an extended version at sportsnet.ca. It's about a 20...
I'm Brady Leavold. I'm a dad. I'm a retired pro hockey player. I'm an advocate for mental health and substance abuse. I'm somebody that just wants to show the world that there is hope.
That is a hard one, Brady. Congratulations to you and your family for sharing the story. Michael Attic is the producer of that piece, Brady, as you know, and that has an extended version at sportsnet.ca. It's about a 23-minute mini documentary that chronicles your amazing journey. Kirk McLean right in. Hey, Kirk. Very good. We're all skating on Danny's ice. Nathan Lafayette, these two guys. Kirk's a great skater. He's a goalie, but a great forward as well. How are you doing on that?
I'm a passer all the way.
You are a great passer. And that, speaking of assists, this is a buddy check for Jesse. You know the program. That started here in Victoria. We lost Jesse at the age of 22 in 2014 to mental health that resulted in suicide. His father, Dr. Stu Gershom, created the program. The green tape is reflective of how you can learn more about it, but it's buddy check for Jesse. And the bottom line is compassion is the ultimate wisdom. They do so much to encourage ways to mentor through kindness. All right, a short break. And one other thing I should mention on the way to break, Chris King got your note. The Muskoka Bears are coming back. We'll share that story as we move through all these stories on a wonderful Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada.
It's going to be a great year.
It is, isn't it? We're firefighters, and we do it because we love this job.
Special Agent Will Trent. I bet I can solve this tonight.
Want to make a podcast with me? Murder?
Yeah, murder. You ready?
Ready to go, Cap.
Everyone has a story, and it's your job to find it.
Plan starting at just $7.99 a month.
We've been on a few dates now, and things are going well. So what are we? Ready to order?
I'll have the sirloin with vegetables.
And for you? I'll have the Mediterranean chicken. You know, I like you a lot.
I love you so much.
I love you too.
Milestones. Wednesday date nights are back.
Beat the winter blues with Calgary's newest RV party and sale. Multiple dealers on site offering huge discounts on tent trailers, travel trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, motorhomes, and more. January 24th to 28th, visit CalgaryRVExpo.com.
California Closets. We believe every space deserves a custom solution.
We had the most wonderful experience. Our designer listened to our vision and respected our budget.
That's what we call practical magic. Request a free design consultation.
At Golden Life, grab your ticket to independence, to good times, and great food with friends old and new. Stay active with amenities built to bring joy and convenience to your golden years. Enjoy friendships and spacious suites ready for you to call home. Find new hobbies, community, and comfort while you continue doing the things you love. From licensed pubs to elegant dining rooms, everything you need to live a vibrant lifestyle is here. Grab your ticket to your Golden Life. Book a tour today.
On paper, my life looks exciting.
In reality, not so much.
Every day, it's same old, same old.
Clock in, clock out.
Then I discovered Play Alberta. I can play casino games anytime.
Bet on any game.
And buy lottery tickets anywhere in Alberta. I think my spleen is ruptured.
Headquartered in beautiful Victoria for the 24th annual Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada, but headed to Sherwood Park, Alberta in a moment for Callie Bizuk's story. But Callie, before I show your story, this is a neat twist. The Salmon Kings here hockey program back in 2005 when they had the NHL lockout. Dan Blackburn was a great Western Hockey League goaltender, a New York Ranger who had a nerve situation that cost him the use of his trapper, his catching hand. So he had to figure out a way to play the game with two blockers, and he did a fantastic job in the East Coast Hockey League program right here in Victoria. Played great and just proved that where there's a will, there's a way. And you're the same story. Born an amputee, you found a way to become one of the finest ringhead goaltenders in the nation. So Callie, your story is next.
Here we go, Power fans.
I always knew that I wasn't, I guess, typical. I think the second I stepped on the ice, I was like, this is me. Ringette was my passion, and I went with it.
Elena. Yeah!
shot, and Casey picks up the rebound. And
I always thought, like, if I put enough effort, then I can do it. So I just tried my hardest because I never wanted to be different. My whole goal was just, I am a normal kid, so who cares? Let's do this.
Hey guys, how are you? Oh, so good to see you. I can't believe it's already been 2 years since your last arm. And we measured the weight because we know that's important. And so I think maybe we even cut a little bit of weight.
I think the thing we worried about the most was like bullying or her having just a different experience from her siblings growing up.
I had a lot of different things that I had to figure out on how to work through it. But I had a lot of coaches and we were very creative with gloves and whatnot. I really just wanted to do everything the same as everyone else. And so it was really hard because I couldn't all the time.
How does it feel? It's good, we're good. Excellent. And then I'm gonna get you to try and flex your arm. Any pressure?
No. When she first started asking for more and more turns at goalie, it was a little bit tricky. She had a coach at the time, I think, was a little bit nervous. And then one of her coaches said, why don't we just, put her arm in the glove, at least the blocker glove, and just tape it on. At the end of that year, the shots started to go through the glove. That's when we realized, okay, we need to look into something that, might make more sense for her.
Let's take a look at your goalie stance. Okay, so when Keely was here, she was telling us about the angle that we wanted. This is close, but I think I need to adjust it a little bit.
I've known Callie for a number of years now, and her mom got in touch with me when she decided that goalie seemed to be where she wanted to go. She invited me to some of their appointments, and we got right down into the details, even with the angles and how to hold things and how to make things more comfortable and talking about weight and structure and all sorts of things.
She was game right from the beginning. And then honestly, the magic happened between Keely, Lisa, and Callie.
Stepping on the ice with my prosthetic for the first time, it just felt so cool. I felt oh, I've made it.
I think she's definitely becoming a role model in the sport, and she's been one for quite some time, even when referees ask about her limb difference and wondering how her gloves attached when she was younger, and dealing with that attention and realizing that the attention is what she makes of it, that people are curious, but they're not attacking, which is key.
I think mostly it's been a little bit of awe watching, because it's only at the end of the year or at the end of a season that you'll look back and be like, wow. Or when something like this happens and people point it out and you think, yeah, you're right. Yeah, she is pretty amazing.
I debate words to describe Callie would be between passionate and determined.
I would say resilient, and that because she just keeps getting up.
Don't be afraid to ask for help, even though it can be scary, because sometimes we don't want to ask for help because we don't want to accept that we are different. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my family and the War-Amps. I really just hope that the little girl there that sees this knows that she can do anything that she puts her mind to. If she thinks there's a sport that she can't do, there's a way.
Producer Kelsey Scobie, thank you for sharing Callie's incredible story. Ivanka Osmak, over to you.
Thanks so much, Ron. I'm with Matteo Pellizzari, who is a member of Canada's national para-hockey team for 2024, only 17 years old, and you actually made your first team when you were only 15 years old, Matteo, one of the youngest players indeed. I know you're an active guy, you love your sports, but why para-hockey?
Yeah, so I started playing para-hockey when I was 4 years old, and I just fell in love with it the moment I tried it. It's everything about stand-up hockey with a little bit more brutality, and it's just played a different way. And yeah, so I've been playing since I was 4, and I made the team 2 years ago, and it's just been my favorite.
And most of your teammates are a lot older than you, correct?
Yeah, most of the guys are mid-20s, early 30s, so it's kind of cool being able to play with all these experienced guys. They've been passing down some of their knowledge to me through the last 2 years, and been really kind of inspiring me to become the next generation.
And what are some takeaways for people who are watching at home and they don't know much about para hockey or para sports? What would you say to them?
Yeah, parasport is an amazing way for disabled people to get out there and get involved with a team or really try and put themselves out there and work towards a goal, right? And that's how I found it. It's been an amazing opportunity for me. I've met so many incredible people, and yeah, if you're interested in playing para hockey, disabled or able-bodied, there's many communities across the country for you to give it a try. It's an incredible experience too, even if you just want to give it a try for one time. But yeah, we're always looking for new players, so you're more than welcome anywhere.
And Paratough, the Paratough Cup is coming to Calgary and Toronto in March, I believe?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. Well, good luck this year on the team. You're made the 2024 team for the National Para Hockey Team. So good luck, Mateo, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Ron, back to you.
Yeah, amazing, Mateo. And, Ivanka, as the Cardinals are our hosts here this year, Danny was once our host for Scotiabank in Nelson. You were amazing then. And, Danny, we're a little tight, so I'll let you just spiel, because this is the hit. This is what the Legacy Society is so proud of.
Oh, good.
This forever, this beautiful synthetic ice. What's
well,
the
I got involved about 10 years ago, and it's something to help develop the game. And we, a lot of kids and learn to skate programs throughout Canada and the United States use it. So it's just great for kids and have the opportunity at any place, any time to skate, in the 365 days a year.
I happen to know Stephen Wong, your partner.
Yeah, Stephen's here. Yeah, he's
in the plant.
The family's here, and it's great, and we're proud to be a part of Hockey Day in Canada.
So, Kathy, your mom passed away, you were telling me last year. She was, honestly, our host when we were there for Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada. And
she loved you, you know that?
Yeah, well, we love you. Danny, in case you don't know, because we just assume I've been around so long, Danny's a great NHL hockey player. His dad, Ernie, said to him when he was 16, what do you want to be? He said, a hockey player. You worked out every day.
Yeah.
Tell that story. We have a little...
Well, he told me, he said, if you want to play in the NHL, there's three things. You're small, you have to work out, and then you have to learn how to shoot. You have to have an asset. So I shoot $500. That's kind of how I got this idea in this project for Can Ice, to help development and improve kids' skills. And then the third one was to learn how to box. So I boxed, and I was fighting a lot back when I played. But
well, you did.
Love to score more, though.
If you're going to hit the way you could, you better be able to back it up. And, your dad said, let's work out every day, Danny. Yeah. And every day we do a workout. I got a map of Canada. Go ahead.
He put a pin on a wall. He said, there's a kid in every town in Canada that wants to do the same damn thing you want to do. And he said, every time you work out, every time you shoot pucks, every time you hit the speed bag or heavy bag, we'll put a pin. I couldn't wait to put pins on the wall up in his office on this map of Canada. When I was drafted by the Sabres, the map was full of red, green, yellow, blue pins all the way to Nova Scotia from British Columbia.
Ernie did that for you, and Danny, you've done it for hockey ever since.
Oh, thanks, Ron. It's great to see you. Good job.
Same, Danny Gare. Danny, he's a great commentator, too. Did a lot of color for the NHL games, and nice to have a mic in your hand again, Danny. You belong with that. Cassie Campbell-Pascal on site at Central Middle School. This is one of the schools here that had the Stanley Cup and our team come to visit. And, yeah, good job, Finn. We'll take a short break. Good job, Carlton. Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada continues.
For everyone who's endured the bad seat, finally, sweet, sweet redemption. The Lexus TX, 3-row luxury that treats every seat like the best seat.
Thanks for helping with my financial plan, Sarah. Getting on track was so easy.
And our team of financial planners is just a call away, so you can stay on track.
Sure beats my other plan of waiting for my inheritance.
Oh, you have family money.
Technically, I am 487th in line, but I am still family. I'm talking to my financial planner.
Congratulations, madam.
It's okay. I was just leaving.
Your personalized financial plan starts with TD Financial Planning Direct. TD. Ready for you.
Hearing loss can sneak up on you. Before you know it, you may be missing out on the sounds of the game you love. Talking with friends and family, I noticed I wasn't catching every word. And that's why I went to Connect Hearing, and they looked after me. Now, I don't miss a thing.
Hear the sounds that you love. Get your hearing checked by a licensed hearing care professional at your local Connect Hearing clinic. Book your appointment today. Thursdays.
Our job is to follow the law and get justice for victims.
Watch all new episodes of Law & Order, SVU, and Organized Crime.
You're safe now.
Law & Order Thursday on City TV. City TV has all new episodes of Chicago Med, Fire, and PD.
Listen up, mass casualties en route.
How do I fix it?
You go back to work. Chicago Wednesday on City TV or stream it on City TV Plus.
What took you so long?
I took the scenic route.
We've moved fireside back in Victoria. The Fairmont Express Hotel, Empress Hotel, I should say, opened January 20th, 1908. The Empress was named, of course, for Queen Victoria. The city's literally grown up around this stunning center for business and for social activity. And as Ivanka mentioned, we've all enjoyed the pool area, the spa, high tea. It's unbelievable to experience the Empress. And right in behind, before we get Sunil Karad to you, who's that back there?
That's Kobe Steeds-Karad. That's my son. He's 4 months old. He's got a Canucks jersey on. You know, and hockey seems to be the only thing that calms him down, you know, when he's getting cranky. So he's enjoying today so far.
He's enjoying listening to you. That's why you're a great coach and a general manager. So assistant GM and coach right now with the Grizzlies. I'll probably say the Cougars. Forgive me if I do, because you're
right.
Yes, right. So tied to that. And Robin Bawa, the great Robin Bawa. Robin's in the BC Sports Hall of Fame as a builder. He's a great NHL hockey player. But Robin, it's because of what you've done to grow the game, what you've done to be the trailblazer, the first South Asian player in the NHL. So welcome, and maybe just tell the viewer a little bit about your story and what it means to be that guy that kind of showed the way.
Thanks, Ron. As I've said all along, that when you're playing, growing up, and your dream is playing the NHL, and when you get there, you don't think about it. You know, you're in the moment. You don't realize that you're the trailblazer. You're the first South Asian playing the NHL. But once it's all said and done, you sit back and think about it, and it is quite the accomplishment. And it's great to see the diversity in the game, and not only as players but as a fan base too.
Same, Sunil. You're that person on the management side. So just a little bit about who inspired you and what it's been like to be that coach and GM that others look up to now.
Well, it's funny. I was talking to Robin beforehand. That, you know, I saw him playing when I was growing up, and you know, it's always nice to see, you know, another South Asian when you're a child, and it's like that's, you know, gives you the aspiration to get there. And so he was obviously a role model for me growing up, and you know, it's nice that I have, you know, kids now, and you know, I can be a role model for them. But you see what he's done in the game, and it kind of, you know, he's been trailblazing. He's probably gone through a lot, and you know, it's nice to kind of keep that going for him and keep that torch, and hopefully, you know, pass it along at some point here.
Go on. It was neat. I asked Matt Pettinger, you know, who took you under wing, who was a favorite teammate in the National Hockey League. Same for you, Robin, if you had to pick a couple of people that you think about.
Well, I think a lot of the local kids around here, like my teammate Dougie Bodger and Richard Haidu, Greg Adams, you know, Russ Courtnall. I think the guys were mentors when I was growing up and just starting the game and beginning my junior career in Kamloops. My family didn't know if they should send me away at 16 for a young South Asian boy to move away from home. Back then it was not normal. So my parents talked to Dougie, and my dad was friends with Jeff's dad. So, you know, back in the day, it wasn't normal.
What about, Robin, when you're young and by the time you get to your 4th or 5th year in the Western League, you're tearing it up? So maybe tell, you know, a young player who's trying to find their way what it is to grow into your role.
That's a good point there, Ron, because I think when you're a young player, you know, it's all how you adjust from midget to junior, and it's such a big adjustment. And I was a late bloomer, and at 16 and 17, I just wasn't ready to play in the league as Dougie Bodger was, or Richard Haidu, or the Courtnalls. But I think I came within myself when I was 19 and 20. 20 was my breakout year, and that's when I felt more comfortable, and I started developing better, and I started scoring, and confidence was a big thing. And I had so much confidence when I was 20, and that's when my career took off.
That year was unbelievable. 57 goals, 113 points. Well, both of you, Sunil, Robin, thank you for the. It's kind of a focus towards Zayne Parekh. Have you seen him? You won't believe it. This kid's like a goal-a-game defenseman, right-hand shot, so a beauty. Amrit Gill, let's get the story of Zayne.
February 15th, 2023, Zayne was scheduled to play the Sioux Greyhounds in Sault Ste. Marie. He was on pace to break an OHL rookie record, and it was also his 17th birthday.
With him not being at home, Mona and I, we decided to go down and be with him. I've been in enough planes to know how long it takes to travel. Pilot comes on and says, a lot of freezing rain, and it doesn't look like we're gonna be able to land.
He wants to get it to Parekh. In front of him, he scores! Zayne Parekh backhands the puck into the empty net and into history. The most goals by a 16-year-old defenseman.
It would have been nice to have my parents there that night, but you know, they ran into a little bit of difficulty, but it's cool how all that comes full circle.
Zayne Parekh is a NHL top prospect. His determination to seize the opportunity ahead is underscored by a journey of migration driven by sacrifice.
I was born in Colbert, India. We immigrated to England for a couple weeks, and then from there we came to Oshawa. And then eventually we ended up in Nobleton, and this is home for us. My dad left us a year in early '72, and he came down to Canada on his own. The opportunities that he got early to be able to raise the funds and to be able to bring all 7 of us here is not a small task. Hockey's been part of our lives since we've been here in Canada. It was funny, my oldest sister, I think she's Zayne's super fan.
Hello, Canada and hockey fans in the United States and New Zealand.
And she used to watch the Leafs on Hockey Night in Canada.
Zayne and his older brothers, Aiden and Isa, have spent much of their lives packing their hockey bags and embarking on road trips across North America with the support of their lifelong teammates, their grandparents.
Remember that one time we got trapped in a snowstorm? And we were sitting in the car for 4 hours?
Yeah, I remember that. Crazy sacrifices they've made for us. It's kind of mind-blowing at the same time, just all the things they've gone through.
My parents are from South Korea, and they arrived in Germany in 1964 for work opportunities there. From there, they immigrated to Canada in 1967 and settled in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario.
Hockey to Misun and Junyul is a bright beacon illuminating a once dark journey. They are both survivors of the Korean War, forced to leave their homeland due to economic strife. As Canada's immigration policy evolved in the 60s, barriers to entry for many visible minorities were lifted, giving them both a chance to have a home again.
한국을 떠났습니다. 그 당시에 우리 한국은
저희들은요, 학교를 대학을 못 나오고 그렇기 때문에 우리 모니카 모나는 대학을 나와야 되겠다 싶어서 우리 모.
As a parent, it's probably the neatest thing to see when your kids are on the ice together. Zayne is in Saginaw, Michigan, and Aiden is in Utica, New York, and Isa is in Nanaimo, BC.
There's a lot of kilometers on my car. I'd say probably at least 60,000 kilometers of that is hockey driving, for sure.
Where hockey takes Zayne next, well, he's still mapping that out. And while the destination remains unknown, it's the journey of those who came before him that's helping to forge a new path.
I'm proud of you, all right?
Thank you. I think you get to experience what pressure is when you're finding a place to live or you're down to your last meal, and I really don't think that the things I go through are even compared to the things they went through.
정말 자기 꿈을 펼칠 수 있는 그날이 올 때까지 응원합니다.
When you're a kid, you just play for the love of the sport, and I'm still doing that, but there's bigger things to it too. To remember where you come from.
Unreal. So here are the stars of Hockey Night in Canada, Punjabi, Takdir Tindall, Randeep Janda. You know, it's time for 2 Randy.
Oh, okay. You've been
How's that?
Amazing.
Yeah.
You've been learning from BX, haven't you?
Yeah, he is amazing at that kind of thing. But it's your, I don't know, what would you consider that segment? But you are so great, you two, on that segment. What was the anatomy of that, or the creation of this forum that you guys sort of debate?
Dudande is a common saying in a Punjabi household. When your parents are saying, okay, I've had enough of you, that's essentially what Dudande means. So when we were coming up with this segment idea, it was, what's something that's said in the house that we can turn into a debate segment, and it just worked perfectly. So I'm the host now. Unfortunately, I don't get a chance to say it too often.
That's right, I see that.
I'm the referee, like you were on.
Yeah.
But I miss it, I'm not going to lie. And Tax
BXer. Yeah, go on about that, Tak. You are funny on that.
You know what? I had to up my game. He's annoyed that he can't yell at me on the set anymore, but we have a great time, and you know what? Like, it's one of our favorite segments, and our audience loves it as well.
You know, I heard you for the CFL too, right? You were so funny. You were deciding what to wear. It was boots and suits, right?
Yeah, you know, we showed up. It was a radio broadcast, and I'm in a suit and tie, and the guys are just saying, "Hey, aren't you working radio today?" So it was kind of a funny experience, but I wanted to look good for my first ever, pro football game.
Yeah, well, it's great. The Grey Cup's coming to BC, and of course, there's a CFL game here, August the 31st in Victoria. Randeep, we'll just, you've been so good when we do Rogers Hometown Hockey, whether it was at Abbotsford or Surrey or Brampton. The show, Punjabi shows, always come to support us. Just a thought on Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada and the breakthrough and the popularity of Hockey Night Punjabi.
Well, this event is my first time being at Hockey Day in Canada. I know 24 years running, and this is something that is special to me to be here. I grew up in Vancouver, come to Victoria numerous times, but the celebration of hockey, the celebration of welcoming people into the game, but also celebrating the different entry points. And for our show, not only can you play hockey to get involved with it, but you can be a viewer, you can be a participant. You might be a kid, you might be somebody that maybe learned about hockey when they're 80 years old, and it's the celebration of those moments of entering the game, whatever way it is this really what we celebrate on our show. And Hockey Night in Canada, Punjabi, the entry points are very different. Ball hockey's a part of that. There's other elements of maybe you're just a straight out fan and you just watch it on TV, but it doesn't matter what your background is, how you got involved in the game. The most important thing is you're involved with the game.
Tak, who's winning the cup? Which Canadian team?
It's tough to say. I'm taking the Oilers right now. They're just red hot, and Skinner's upped his game. They're getting the depth scoring. They're not just relying on McDavid and Draisaitl like the past. It's tough to say right now that anybody can stop them. So I'm taking the Oilers through to the end. But the Jets are also looking pretty damn good right now, so it's going to be a toss-up. But Oilers for me.
I can't believe you didn't say the Vancouver Canucks. They're running roughshod over the NHL right now.
All right, there you see the Punjabi Hockey Night in Canada lineup for tonight at 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 ET. Thank you, Takdir. Thank you, Randeep, as always. Ivanka, to you.
Thanks so much, Ron. Well, a welcome back to Phil Pritchard and the Stanley Cup, because, Phil, it's been a couple decades since the Cup has been on Vancouver Island, and it's been a busy week for the two of you. Hospital visits, school visits, and everything in between.
Yeah, you know what? The fans have been great. The public's been great. You see the Cup. Always, it's got the Cougars way back here in 1925, but this week's been spectacular, and even Mother Nature was part of it as well to make it all hockey feeling.
What are some of the highlights? I mentioned a couple of places that you went to. What are the highlights for you?
I think obviously the school visits. The kids loved it. I think the teachers were bound with it as well. We went to the Archie Courtnall Mental Center the other day, and they were thrilled to be part of it and everything. Last night we did a thing with you and Cassie over at the bank, and the girls were so excited, and I think that's what it's all about. It's the excitement of seeing the Stanley Cup back in Victoria. And as we can tell, it's a hockey town.
And I think you mentioned to the girls of the Victoria Reign, you said there are 17 women on this cup. So I think a couple of them have their eye on becoming the next few ones. Phil, thank you so much. Always great. Okay. Oh, lots of hockey happening here. Scotiabank Girls Hockey Fest going on, and right now, getting a little heated, having fun on the ice. We'll be back.
This game is brought to you by Rogers, proudly bringing the NHL's biggest stars to Toronto for the 2024 NHL All-Star Weekend.
I rode the market to the moon. And back. Then I met with my TurboTax expert.
I'll make all your investments count, the gains and losses, all filed with 100% accuracy. Intuit TurboTax.
We've been on a few dates now, and things are going well. So what are we? Ready to order?
I'll have the sirloin with vegetables.
And for you? I'll have the Mediterranean chicken. You know, I like you a lot.
I love you so much.
I love you too.
Milestones. Wednesday date nights are back.
Beat the winter blues with Calgary's newest RV party and sale. Multiple dealers on site offering huge discounts on tent trailers, travel trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, motorhomes, and more. January 24th to 28th, visit CalgaryRVExpo.com.
L'Italia non è sola questo qui. Mamma mia, qui è tutta un'allegria. Mamma mia, qui è tutta una poesia.
Injured in a car accident, James H. Brown & Associates, Alberta's precedent-setting injury lawyers, can help. We have over 250 years of injury law experience with millions in settlements every month. When accidents happen, go to jameshbrown.com.
I like this one. Oh, this is the one.
And the sectional's available in all these fabrics.
Perfect.
Your home, your style, your choice. Sofaland.
We've been on a few dates now, and things are going well. So what are we? Ready to order?
I'll have the sirloin with vegetables.
And for you? I'll have the Mediterranean chicken. You know, I like you a lot.
I love you so much.
I love you too.
Milestones. Wednesday date nights are back.
WWE Royal Rumble on Sportsnet Plus.
Back on Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada, here come the Ottawa Senators, the first of our 4 NHL games. The only non-Canadian team in action tonight is Boston, and that's even funny because when Lester Patrick wanted to figure out how to put artificial ice into Victoria back in 1911, he went to Boston and studied the ice at the Boston Arena. Winnipeg Jets and the Ottawa Senators to the birthplace of the Cup. Carolyn Cameron, nice to see you, Carolyn. To you.
Thanks, Ron. You too. I love the sweater. So we all know that defense wins championships, but as Rick Bowness and the Winnipeg Jets have learned this season, it also wins you a lot of regular season games. The Jets have 33 straight games allowing 3 goals or fewer. That's just 2 shy of the modern-day record set by the 14-15 Minnesota Wild. So how are they getting it done game in and game out? Well, Rick Bowness said it started at training camp, a complete buy-in from the players from day one. Last year was a lot of teaching, but we don't go back to those old habits. So as we watch the Jets edge closer to that record, today could be the last time that Shane Pinto has to watch these Senators. He's eligible to return to the lineup tomorrow after serving the 41-game suspension for violating the league's sports wagering rules. He signed the 1-year contract yesterday for league minimum. As he said, he's just excited to put that in the past and get back on the ice. Josh Norris returns to the lineup tonight for the Senators, or this afternoon, I should say, Ron, and he's excited to get going back from injury.
We're doing the show across 5.5 time zones, Carolyn, so that's allowed. It's the Sens and the Jets. I don't have to tell you, Winnipeg, this amazing run where in the last 13 games they've allowed 2 or fewer. Connor Hellebuck, 22 wins on the season. What a year for the Jets. Our coverage continues after this.
What took you so long?
I took the scenic route.
Soar into Paramount Plus. Browse and stream blockbusters. Catch new originals and exclusive series.
I'm doing this for our family.
And enjoy hit shows of every kind. Okay. Stream a mountain of entertainment with Paramount Plus.
California Closets. We believe every space deserves a custom solution.
From the consultation to the final installation, every detail was buttoned up and very professional.
That's what we call practical magic. Request a free design consultation.
Beat the winter blues with Calgary's newest RV party and sale. Multiple dealers on site offering huge discounts on tent trailers, travel trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, motorhomes, and more. January 24th to 28th, visit CalgaryRVExpo.com.
L'Italia non è sola questo qui. Mamma mia, qui è tutta un'allegria. Mamma mia, qui è tutta una poesia.
Finding the right home for every member of your family matters. And it matters to us. Maxwell Realty, where real estate happens.
Whether you spend your time down on the farm or going down the road, you can always count on UFA. With over 100 card lock locations and bulk fuel delivery, from fleet to farm, we've got you covered.
I like this one. Oh, this is the one.
And the sectional's available in all these fabrics.
Perfect. Your home, your style, your choice. Sofaland.
Hearing loss can sneak up on you. Before you know it, you may be missing out on the sounds of the game you love. Talking with friends and family, I noticed I wasn't catching every word. And that's why I went to Connect Hearing, and they looked after me. Now, I don't miss a thing.
Hear the sounds that you love. Get your hearing checked by a licensed hearing care professional at your local Connect Hearing clinic. Book your appointment today.
Back at Ship Point, the Inner Harbor here in Victoria, located steps away from the beautiful Fairmont Empress. The Empress has always been known for the elegant traditional afternoon high tea. They serve 500,000 cups of tea annually, but it's also a culinary destination. So yeah, this is actually neat. We're trying to catch up with Nathan Lafayette and Kirk McLean. I'll mention Tim Cormode he has a great initiative here in Victoria that he created years ago called Power to Be, which morphed into Power to Give. And the essence of that was to work with nature, to find ways for our vulnerable communities to have access to all the great land that is in the greater Victoria area. And Tim has then worked with Lisa Rogers, who took her parents' middle names and created Annual for Anne and Samuel. And it was just a way to create support, to do great charity work. And that's kind of Kirk McLean, well, he's probably not hearing me, but Kirk got involved in one of their programs when he took a group over to Churchill. Ivanka, you've got Nathan Lafayette, Kirk McLean. I'll send it to you for more.
I found them. Yes, we've got Kirk and Nathan. There's so many people here and trying to navigate your way. Everyone's so excited to be part of this day, which is really exciting. First of all, we have to talk about last night first and the result. I'll get to you in the trade in a bit. But Nathan, you were part of Team Tucker that took the game 7-5. And just what was it like being on the ice?
It was a ton of fun. I think that's a little younger crowd than I'm used to playing in some of these alumni games, and it was a pretty quick tempo, so it was fun.
If Lanny was on the ice, that would have maybe upped the age, I guess. Okay.
I bring the pace down a little bit when I'm out there.
And there was a big trade at intermission where you came over. They traded you from Team Tucker to Team McDonald.
They did.
How'd that work out?
Well, at the end, we didn't win the game on the other side, but it was fun had by all. I mean, it was amazing. Lanny and I have played in games before, and we've had fun, and so he made the trade for me. But everybody was a winner.
Yes.
Especially the community, and it's been amazing this last 3 days.
Yeah. Well, tell us a little bit about what you've been doing today on the synthetic ice here with the kids.
I mean, we did a little bit yesterday as well. Just basically standing out here and watching them practice. It's a little different. Trying to get your stride and. I think we just decided that we're just going to stand still and walk our way through the ice surface here. But it's pretty cool. I mean, what a great opportunity for kids or associations or whatever it may be to get something like this, and the kids can work on their skills all year round.
Yeah, and Nathan, what's been some of the highlights today with the kids and working with them?
That's great. Victoria's a hockey town. It's the turnout's been amazing. The kids, we were walking around, the kids come out and just learn, they figure it out. They're adapting to the environment. They're great. Some great practices too.
Yeah, we could learn a lot from the kids, I think, and being adaptable and flexible.
Right? They're fearless. Right?
That too. They're closer to the ground as well, which helps. Ron, back to you.
Hey, Ivanka, Nathan, Piper, and Hudson, your children are two great athletes. I want to give them a shout out. Brendan Dillon grew up in Surrey, and when he came out of the dressing room after games, his mom would put her purse on the left shoulder if they had a good game, right shoulder, don't drive home with dad. It wasn't a good game, Dillon.